So let's release the pressure a little bit. So let's talk about Miss Zari Hassan. So Zari was in Kenya, and she did a couple of interviews which went very, very viral based on some of the topics that she talked about, especially from their show Young African and Famous. People wanted to know a lot about the show. And I think they should have done some sort of promo. I mean, that show has potential. But anyway, so Zara did an interview. She talked a lot about things, said that the show is not scripted. Okay, she's on record saying that the show is not scripted. I've seen one of Annie DBS post saying the show is not scripted. So Zari also did a quick fire challenge that Kalondu normally do with a guest on a past show. And there's some very, very interesting things that Zari said during that quick fire challenge. Some of the questions or some of her answers were so obvious, but some of the questions I was like, damn. I almost did not see that coming. I was like, ooh, oh, okay. I'm going to play the video over here. Then you can tell me what about her really surprised you. I did not take the entire clip. I only chopped some few interesting questions that I got from there that I think you might as well find very, very interesting because, we really want to know. We really want to know. Anyway, without further ado, let me play you.
Was your first job? As a secretary? Who do you call them? My husband. Who do you text them? My husband. Who is your hero? My mom. Who is your best friend? My son. Who is your favorite cast young famous actor? Kaylee. Your least favorite? FANTANA. Which part of your life do you still keep private? None. Yes or no? Do you wish you were not famous and could walk on the streets without attention? No. What do you miss doing that you can't do right now since you became famous? Nothing. Whose death hit you the hardest? Who? Death hit you the hardest. My mom and none of my kids. What's a lesson that took you long to learn? I should have worked harder. Which Kenyan celebrity do you think is suitable for young famous in there? Zari?
Okay, you guys, some of these questions we already know about. For example, you all know that Zari is very, very close with her children, especially the boys. She's always hanging out with them. So it was no surprise when she chose her boys over her husband. Of course, her husband is also her best friend. And she also talked about her favorite. She also talked about the death that hit her the most. I think the real reason why Zari talked about that part, talked about the father of her children, also her mother, is because when Zari met Alvin, she was still young, and of course they started life young. And when the ex-husband left, she almost did not know where to start. You almost get afraid even before starting to mourn, because you're like, how am I supposed to do it? How will I do it? And also, Zari talked about Kaylee being the favorite, I think because she's non-problematic, okay? I've never seen her with any quarrel except her husband. Of course, when she wanted the ring, yes. With all that beauty, you're like Nganganizi, Kaylee. Oh, please. And also, when she talked about the least favorite, I thought she would either go for Annie or Diamond Platnumz. Fantana, I thought that this season, they kind of did not butt heads so much, Even if they did, it wasn't like the way it was in season 2, but probably she carried how it started, and she still feel as she felt about Fantana in season 1. And I think the feeling is mutual. I feel like even if you ask Fantana right now, who is the least favorite, she would say, oh, Zari is my least favorite. So I think that is very, 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 very interesting. Even though I felt like in season 3, it was Consuelo. Is it Consuelo? It's either Consuelo or Annie are the ones who said hurtful things about Zari. I did not think that she will say Fantana, but maybe last season Fantana, but wasn't bad to her as much, but maybe she's putting in general, okay? If I put it in general, well, I don't like me some Fantana, and it's not like I'm going to like her anytime soon. I think that is where she was going with all that. And also, Zari talked about she wish she could have worked harder. I'm like, girl, with all that money, what hard work are you still wanting to work? Oh my goodness. Anyway, it is what it is. Tell me how you feel about it down in the comment section. What quick fire question about Zari that shocked you? Keep it classy. Stay. I see you on my next one. Adios.